Hi, everybody. I'm Amanda. This is Kevin,
Hi there.
and we're with A. Smith Gallery. And today we have with us Polly Whitehorn. Say hi.
Welcome, Polly.
Hi, Polly.
Hey there. Hey, Kevin. Hey, Amanda.
So Polly received the Jurors Award for an exhibition entitled Open Unfiltered, which was a totally open themed exhibition. And Kevin happened to be the juror.
I was the juror.
She had a fabulous image of a woman holding a sunflower. Oh, I love that image.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, really beautiful image. Anyway, we're here today to talk about her current project called Vietnam. And I think Kevin's going to read her bio first.
I received my professional training in apparel design at the Fashion Institute of Technology in New York City, paving the way for a successful career in clothing design. I launched a high-end child's wear company that I ran for 7 years. Customers included Neiman Marcus, Bloomingdale's, and specialty boutiques nationwide. Transitioning to home decor, I evolved into a nationally recognized quilt maker and fiber artist. Adding to my skill set, I earned the certificates in both nonprofit management and fundraising management, working 7 years as an arts management professional at an arts council in New York. With the advent of digital photography, I became intrigued with the ease of use and endless creative possibilities. From my cache of photos, I layer imaged and textured, creating dreamlike photographs. My fine art photography has been exhibited in corporate venues, libraries, museums, and galleries. It can be found in private and corporate collections. Excuse me. Clients for my commercial work include media publications, musicians, artists, and executives. I am currently a member and past board member of the Pittsburgh Society of Artists, the American Society of Media Photographers, the Fiber Arts Guild of Pittsburgh, Cranberry Artist Network, and the Atlanta Photography Group. I moved to Pittsburgh from New York in 2012 and divide my time between southwestern Pennsylvania and the Sonoran Desert. All right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I like to cover a lot of real estate in the course of a year.
No kidding. Right. Well, would you like to read your statement for us?
Sure, I would. Yeah. So first of all, it was hard to come up with a title for this project other than Vietnam, because I think that pretty much says it. So I'll go ahead and read my statement. So coming of age in the 60s, it was hard to ignore what was happening in that small Southeast Asian country called Vietnam. I've always been a curious and adventurous traveler. Last year, I made a 4-week journey, desirous of seeing the remote and less traveled areas. I did visit remote villages that are home to some of the 54 ethnic minority groups that comprise the northern region of Vietnam. I had the good fortune to be escorted by another photographer eager to show me the riches of the landscape and the people that make it such a welcoming place. The landscape is like a symphony, rich and melodious with hidden vistas that surprise at every turn. The rolling hillsides of the tea fields and the sculpted stepped terrain of ancient family-owned rice farms embody a unique magic. These images are a sampling and a reflection of this unique experience.
Wonderful.
Yeah. Let's look at them.
I'll tell you what we're going to do now is we're going to screen share your images.
All righty, very good.
Can you see that, Polly?
I sure can, yeah. Brings me back to a beautiful place.
That is
Wow.
beautiful.
Very peaceful, very tranquil.
I mean, they remind me very much of those Chinese landscape paintings.
Well, and it's interesting that you make that comment, because when I was looking out across this landscape, I was probably looking into China. And as I was on this photographic journey, and particularly this one, when I saw it in the back of the camera, I said, this reminds me so much of Chinese scroll painting. And as I started reviewing my images as I went further into my journey, I realized that that was how I wanted to process the images to really bring that artistry into the photographs that I was making. So I did have that idea in my head as I was going through my journey.
So you answered the second part of my question.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's interesting because I find myself drawing upon my arts background when I'm taking pictures. Something will just remind me of a certain genre of art. Yeah, as we discussed the Chinese scroll painting here. Which is just so peaceful and so tranquil. And the earlier image that you mentioned that you honored me with the award, I took that picture with the intent of re-envisioning John Singer Sargent.
Okay.
So a lot of times when I take
Good job. That was successful. Yeah.
Thank you. Doesn't always work that way, but just sometimes it just all comes together. And I'm able to unite the two and really blend them and come up with something that I feel happy to share with other people.
Wonderful. Well, this one is perfect for my first, what was going to be my first question.
Yeah.
And it's interesting the way this came about when I sat down to come up with these questions. It just hit me. I mean, it just came out of the ether. So there's something unique about your images, and I can't put my finger on just why it is, but they suggest what we can't see, what is beyond the boundaries of the image. It has something to do with your treatment of them and how the atmospherics appear to be moving through the picture plane. Do you think your previous work with fabrics and textile art influenced it?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Because, when I look at an image, I always feel like I need to put something textural, something tactile onto the image. And these soft images and the clouds, it just cries for it. It just doesn't want to be flat. It just, you want to feel it. You want to feel the softness of the experience. So adding textures really enhances it. And I've just started now, even though these were done digitally, I've started hand coloring some of my images to add even more texture to the printed image.
Oh, I bet those are stunning.
Yeah.
The other, they all look like you're hanging out of a helicopter taking these.
I was hanging over the side of the hill. Just about. Yeah, I climbed to some really interesting places. Yeah, it was a very challenging trip. There were no easy, no easy shots. Excuse me. Excuse me. Yeah. So we really went quite high in elevation. And in fact, one day I had a bout of altitude sickness, but it was worth the experience because I ended up with some beautiful, beautiful images that I'm able to share.
Absolutely.
Excuse me. Yeah, so here you see some of the tea fields. The tea fields were more of a more undulating landscape rather than the rice terraces, which were much more angular. So I found something very sensual in the tea fields.
That's gorgeous.
Thank you.
So this is kind of a detour, but for us of a certain age, Vietnam, even just the word, is loaded with so much memory, emotion, and baggage.
Yeah.
What was it like to go there as an artist carrying the past with you?
Well, I wasn't sure how I was going to be received as an American. And amazingly, everyone was very kind to me, particularly people of our generation, of our age, because I thought especially that population would have lived through the war. But everyone was very kind and very welcoming. I never found that anyone was responded to me in a negative way. I was always invited into people's houses. They wanted to show me their house, to share a cup of tea. It was just incredible kindness. And these people are really very, they live a very simple life, and they really embrace their heritage. They embrace their family. Family is just such an important part of their lives. And it's refreshing in this age where we're all being bombarded with so much technology to find this very simple life with simple values.
Absolutely. So were there any relics of the war that you could see? I mean, was there anything left that referenced that?
Not in this area. When I was in Da Nang, they had saved the U.S. Air Base. That's still there. But around there, it's kind of interesting. There's 27 kilometers of beach resorts.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's really the only remnant of America's presence there, as they saved the air base.
This image is stunning. That's
Thank
really beautiful.
Thank you. Yeah.
Wow. They're all just so nice.
Yeah, that's the tea fields again, just so sensual. It was, and the evening that we were there, it just, this amazing, there were just heavy clouds, and then it just kind of broke apart into this really interesting sunset, and then the clouds morphed again, and then this haze set in. It was just this ever-changing picture, and you just didn't want to stop clicking.
Right.
It was so special, so special.
So I bet the food was good too, wasn't it?
Well, see, that's a very interesting thing. People always ask me that question. So the first part of the trip, I was along the coast. And, that was documenting coastal life, the life of the people that live from the sea. And that, because what they eat came from the sea, there was a lot of, fresh seafood. There also was a lot of fresh produce, a lot of fresh fruit. But when you get up into the north, and I was warned before I went up there, my guide's wife is Vietnamese, and she said, the food in the north, not good. And I couldn't imagine. And every meal was about the same. We'd have tofu, we'd have these gamey greens, we'd have some sort of soup, the tofu, gamey greens, and that was about. Oh, and then if you wanted soy sauce to flavor your meal, it was like this really black soy sauce, and you'd put like a droplet on it, and it was, your feet would swell up, and the salt content was crazy. But it was very limited in the north, the availability of fresh food. Oh, and the other thing was lots of cabbage. I just couldn't eat another meal of steamed cabbage. But this is what was available up there, and it was very limited. It was uninspiring. But yeah, but the rice was always good. I always enjoyed the rice.
So I imagine you've printed some of these, right?
I have, and I've been printing them on Kozo paper.
Right.
To add that wonderful texture, and to also bring in the sense of something handmade, also something coming from Asia, to kind of carry through that theme and that respect for that part of the world.
Yeah, I bet they're just wonderful on that Kozo.
Yeah, I'm really loving printing on it. It's a really special surface to print on.
So with your hand coloring, what are you using? What are you
I'm
coloring?
using pen pastels and pastel pencils. And then I'm also using some inks as well. So it's got to have steady hand.
Yeah, right.
But again, it kind of comes back to my time as a fiber artist, where embellishment was so important, beads and thread work, and adding those touches are similar to doing fabric embellishment. So
Right.
it's just a continuation of my creativity, but in a different form.
So as you're creating these, what's what's your thought process? I mean, are they all treated in a similar way, or do you treat them differently depending on what the image is? How does that work?
It's interesting. I deliberately do not keep a record of what I do to each image, because I want each one to be a blank canvas. Because then everyone, if I default to what I did on the last couple of ones, then everything's going to look the same.
Right.
And so I just start off and I just start playing with my different textures, and just keep blending and trying and experimenting. And as you probably know, Amanda, because you do a lot of this kind of work, you can work on an image for hours and you'll either love it or hate it. You just never know how it's going to ultimately turn out.
Yeah,
And
the same process doesn't work on all of them either.
right,
You think it
exactly.
will, but
Right.
it just doesn't.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. And certainly I had loads of landscape images from this journey, and not all of them, or not many of them, are suitable for this kind of treatment. So it's first of all, it takes the cultivated eye to recognize which ones will respond to the treatment, and then exploring the different treatments to come up with something that is satisfying.
Well, they're all very, very
Yeah.
nice.
They're all
Well, thank
beautiful.
you. Thank you.
Well, is there anything else you'd like to say about them?
Oh, just that it continues to be an experience to review the images. I keep going through them and finding others that hadn't spoken to me before, and working on them. And I keep experimenting and trying different things. And I look forward to sharing them with your followers, and looking forward to any feedback that people may want to share with me about the images.
Certainly.
And I certainly encourage anyone who's thinking about going to Vietnam for a photo journey to do it, because it's really it's a very satisfying and unique experience.
Everything's really, really nice, really well done.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, Polly, thank you so much for doing this with us.
Yeah.
All right.
We
All right.
greatly appreciate you supporting the gallery.
Oh, well, I thank you for supporting my work.
And it was really good meeting you in Tucson.
It was. I hope we'll have a chance to meet up again.
Me too.
I
That'd
love
be
it.
fun.
I love it there. I'd move there, but she won't. So
Oh, well, you don't want to be there in the summer months.
No.
Yeah, she's got the best of
Yeah.
both worlds.
Yeah.
She's going back and forth. So
Yeah.
Yeah. My theory is, when it starts heating up and the snakes come out,
I'm
leave.
out of here. Yeah.
I'm out of here.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All righty. Well, thank you again.
All right. Thank
Yeah.
you. All right.
Keep
Okay.
up the good work.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.